Oi, oi, right, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you. This is Doodle Review. We're a channel that at the best of times talks about a bunch of different genres, but on Sundays in particular, we talk about jazz. This is the Sunday Jazz Club, and today we're talking about Los Angeles-based pianist and composer Diego Gaeta. Fearlessly Accessing the Divine is Gaeta's first fully solo album, backed of course by an incredible ensemble of jazz musicians providing drums, flutes, guitar and violin, as well as featuring artists like Gaeta Rose, Zero and More Mother on vocals at various points. Gaeta marks the first of a number of artists you will eventually see on this channel that I was turned on to by the Andre 3000 album New Blue Sun. One of the things that excited me most about that record was just how many other artists were involved in bringing it to life and how clearly you could hear everyone's unique contribution. As a result, I came away from New Blue Sun with a long list of artists to check out, with Diego Gaeta at the top of that list. Often when you hone in on a particular artist after being turned on to them for their contribution to a larger whole, you can find the scope of their solo work to be far narrower. Fearlessly Accessing the Divine is far from narrow, offering an eclectic mix of not only jazz but some neoclassical and ambient, with occasional deviations into the avant-garde. This eclecticism certainly makes for an exciting listen, and the album's 40-minute runtime really sails by because of this. But I do definitely find myself leaning more towards certain styles than others. I've often in the past noted my personal disliking of jazz vocals due to not really being able to switch myself into the zone of hearing the voice just as an instrument, and instead being grated by the often repeated, sometimes nonsensical phrases. Despite 3 vocal featuring tracks here, that particular style isn't present, with each of our featured artists offering thoughtful lyrics. What I did note though, in the case of Ecolo featuring Zero, and to a lesser extent Fearlessly with Gaeta Rose, is how the incorporation of a singer seems to throw the instrumental into chaotic disarray compared to the rest of the pieces. If the instrumental pieces are flowing together in unison like iron filings swept together, the vocals are like introducing the opposite pole of a larger magnet, creating a force field around it that disrupts the harmony of those filings and pushes everything away. Of course, this is all by design and executed brilliantly, most notably by Michaela Session on drums, who really drives the unusual pacing of Ecolo with interesting and creative feels. It's executed brilliantly, but for me just makes for a disorientating listen that I can't really latch onto and throws me off balance, particularly when considering the 2 songs either side are favourites. Uprising, just prior to Ecolo, opens with a solitary piano, showcasing Gaeta's knack for utilising the space in between chords as effectively as the chords themselves. It starts with that piano alone until Session's drums, Greg Ullman's plucked guitar riff and Caleb Buchanan's bass drops us into this solid groove that just knocks. It's one of the highlights on the track list and offers something completely unique compared to the other pieces. It's not like I'm using Uprising as an example of a straight up the middle piece with no movement compared to the wild improvisational Ecolo that I can't deal with. Uprising itself allows for great moments of exploration, with plenty of moments in which the ensemble go off-piste from the central groove, which elevates the track further, but that anchor point they come back to is so fun, it creates more joy via the anticipation of the piece coming back to it. Having this piece immediately prior to the chaos of Ecolo just throws me with each listen. With that being said, while I might not enjoy that track itself, I do actually have a lot of respect for its inclusion. As I've said, the pacing on this album is great, and the moments of the more avant-garde like Ecolo, or even the closer Memorial featuring More Mother, which I will say I enjoy a lot more, keep you engaged and maybe make those surrounding pieces all the sweeter. This is a really dynamic jazz album that pushes you as a listener almost as much as it comforts you. Carousel, Gracefully and of course Uprising hit you with great grooves, where Gaeta's feel in particular really shine, while Soft Spot and The World and Within tug at your emotions in their use of space. Definitely give this a listen, it's a solid 8 for me. But alright, enough faff from me. What did you think? Have you heard it? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe, share some thoughts, show some love, or just wholesome abuse in the comments, and I'll see you back here next week for Sunday for more Jazz Club. Cheers mate, bye.